At its core, Minecraft is a simple game. You whack some trees, mine some ores, and pretty soon you're living large. It's part of what makes Minecraft so great. However, what if we took that simplicity and threw it out the window? That, ladies and gentlemen, is how GregTech New Horizons was born. Widely recognized as the most complex, time-consuming, and unforgiving modpack in Minecraft, GTNH truly is a force to be reckoned with. The modpack is centered around the mod GregTech, created by the legendary Gregorius T. It adds countless machines, ores, and other materials to make Minecraft's industry as realistic as possible, with realistic electricity mechanics and ore processing processes. Along with this mod, there are over 100 other content mods, including magic mods like Thaumcraft and Blood Magic, Galacticraft, which adds dozens of planets to explore, and much, much more. All of these culminate in a mod pack that takes some people literal years to complete. Any normal person would likely not attempt to play this mod pack. Unfortunately, I'm not a normal person. I'll be attempting GregTech New Horizons, with my ultimate goal of this episode being to build a bricked blast furnace to get my first steel ingot. This will take countless hours of grinding to get the thousands of materials necessary to construct it. Along with that, there will be many, many deaths. What the hell was that? Apparently I have deceased. GregTech. My GregTech experience started like any modded Minecraft playthrough, with my computer screaming for help and my game running at 2 frames per second as the chunks loaded in. Oh dear. Well, here we are. My game's still running as if I were playing it on a 1980s family computer. I began to survey my surroundings. By the way, the channel just hit 2,000 subscribers, and I just wanted to say thank you for all the support you have all given me. I really love making videos, and I've especially enjoyed seeing this community grow. I read all your comments, so if you enjoy this one, please let me know. Also, if you want to see more of what I do, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Anyways, back to it. I wasn't far from a river, and I decided to dig up a little bit of clay, which I knew I would need eventually. I then opened up my quest book and took a look at my first task. And so it begins. Alright, well, let's get 8 dirt, I suppose. The book wanted me to gather some dirt to build a shelter for nighttime. You'll understand why that's so important shortly. When this was done, several more quests opened up for me, but most were just information, which I didn't care about. Instead, I went straight into the next quest, where I had to gather some gravel and wood. This was done in no time. Awesome. Rather than gravel occasionally dropping flint, 3 gravel had to be crafted into 1. With this flint and the logs from earlier, I could craft a crafting table. Oh yeah. We've got a long road ahead of us. The next thing I did was gather lots more gravel in order to make some flint tools. In this mod pack, wood and stone tools aren't allowed, so flint will have to do for a while. This quest is done. Alright, perfect. I began the excavation of my super mega dirt bunker to cower in for the night. It was getting dark fast, and I mean really dark. GTNH has the mod Hardcore Darkness, which makes the game nigh unplayable at night, so torches are a necessity. The visibility isn't the only problem, however. Another mod in this pain-inducing pack is Infernal Mobs. This means you'll stumble across the occasional mob with over 100 health that inflicts every possible debuff if you get so much as close to it. I would be staying indoors for tonight. The book wanted me to mine 64 cobblestone, so I did that for a while. You got the cobblestone. After that, I got distracted by a flaming zombie attempting to infiltrate my bunker, and I sure showed it the business. With my newly gotten cobble, I hobbled over to my bauble and crobbled a fobble. That means I made a furnace. 2 furnaces, which took 3 flint each. A house isn't a home until you've got your furnaces next to your crafting table. The next thing on my agenda was a bed. This will require my first GregTech tool, the soft mallet. These tools have other uses, but for now, they're used to craft more complex recipes. It was surprisingly easy to make. The next thing I needed was 6 wool, so I went out in search of sheep. Yeah, look at that. Oh! Dear God! I killed everything in sight to gather food, which was in very short supply. Food is a huge problem in this mod pack, since not only has every basic food item been nerfed into the ground, but if you eat the same thing too many times within a certain amount of time, it stops feeding you entirely. I also gathered some of these gardens that spawn around. When I place them back at my base, they'll eventually spread, meaning infinite food. I finally found some sheep and got enough wool. Back at the bunker, I was able to make my bed. Carpets, okay. That's a bed. Great, now we can sleep. I then made a nice little entryway into the bunker with a door that a quest gave me and planted all my gardens. This will eventually give me a great variety of different plants, and with that, I had entered the Stone Age. My first task in this new era was to smelt some stone, so while that was cooking up, I decided to go out and gather 2 stacks of gravel and sand that I would need for my first multi-block, the coke oven. I accidentally worked into the night and had to fear for my life as I made my way back home. No! That scared me so bad. Where am I? No. Oh god. Ow. Get in the house! Get in the house! I finally made it and went right to sleep. Oh. Rare recurring icy enderman of mission control. Okay, bye. I guess let's get back to my favorite part of Minecraft. With that stone I smelted, I could make my next tool, a flint mortar. With it, I crushed up some clay into clay dust to then make a clay bucket. I then made another mortar or two to crush some logs into wood pulp, which I could then mix with water into paper. Oh no. Oh no. What? Mine it! Oh god. Yeah, looks like we gotta watch out for that. Mortar that junk. Boom. Okay, finally. The paper is then finally used to make blank patterns to get started with Tinker's construct. All I really had to do to start was gather a bunch of wood to craft the relatively expensive Tinker's workstations and stencil chest. It didn't take too long, and I made some flint tools, but Tinker's this time. Axe. And a shovel. Okay, let's grab some more patterns for that. After that was finished, I used what sand and clay I had along with a brick mold to make a little over half of the coke oven bricks I'll need for the multi-block. I then took a break for a little while. When I got back on and began mining more sand, I was ambushed by a gravity creeper and suffered my first death of the playthrough. Oh shoot. What was that? Anyways, I got enough materials and was able to make all the bricks I needed. I put them in the furnaces and decided to begin my super mega farm. For now, I decided to plant cotton, which will be very useful for making string. I then also planted an assortment of veggies, including carrots, tomatoes, and beans. The bricks were done now. Great. It comes with a nice Pink Floyd reference. Before I placed my coke oven, I wanted to make a nice little platform for them to go on, so I erected one out of dirt. Here we are, coke oven. For right now, the coke oven is able to turn logs into charcoal, quadrupling the number of items I can smelt with one log. It also produces a small amount of creosote oil, a fluid I've come across many times on this channel. I let the coke oven do its thing, but after seeing the unbelievable slowness of it, I decided that one wasn't enough and went out for more sand and clay. However, I neglected to pay attention to the time. Can't see anything. Where'd the torch go? What? What? Oh no, I can't see anything. Ah! I drowned? I eventually got my stuff back and returned to the base with my materials. I saw a quest that offered an iron pickaxe head in exchange for 4 sacks of cobblestone, so I went mining. This was when I stumbled across our first ore vein, which just so happened to be an iron vein. Let's go. Ore veins in GTNH are massive and spawn every 3 chunks. There are dozens of different ore veins to find in the overworld, ranging from super rare to annoyingly common. In the journey map, you're able to see which ore chunks you've found. This is an iron chunk. Anyways, I claimed my iron pickaxe head and upgraded my Tinker's pickaxe into an iron one. I then went back into the mines and got a bunch more iron ore. Unlike vanilla, I can't just make iron tools with ingots alone. Instead, I need a smeltery, which requires bricks made of gravel, sand, and clay. You know what this means. More digging! It was going great until a creeper decided to ruin it. No! Then silverfish decided they wanted to as well. Why does the silverfish have so much health? What? What is happening? What is happening? Get me out of here. What happened? Well, back to it. After gathering even more clay and stuff, I went home. Look at that. We got some pants. Pants, finally. Before crafting my smeltery, I wanted to make some GregTech tools out of iron, which I now had a large supply of. I made an iron hammer, file, screwdriver, wrench, and saw. These will all be used in various recipes. Now it was finally time to make my smeltery. I mortared all the clay I had into clay dust and then used my stacks of sand and gravel, the clay dust, and water buckets to make grout. Then I could finally turn the grout into bricks with a brick mold. All I had to do then was cook it up. While it smolt, I went back into the mines in search of a redstone vein, which I knew I would need later on. I could also use it to make an ore finder wand, which would lead me to specific ore veins. However, this search for a redstone vein would last almost this entire episode, as for some reason I could not for the life of me find one. My next vein did end up being a copper vein though, which will be extremely useful. I mined a decent amount and then went back home. With the seared bricks in hand, I could make the smeltery at last. This I did, but I only had enough for it to be 1 block tall. Very short right now, but I mean, it's gonna work. Of course, I couldn't use it until I had fuel for it, and that fuel is lava. However, because nothing could just be easy in this mod pack, lava buckets harm you when you hold them. This meant I needed gloves made from an obscene amount of string and leather. Luckily, the cotton I planted earlier could be turned into string at a ratio of 3 to 1, and I had more than enough leather from decimating the cow population. While I waited for the cotton to finish growing, however, I hit the mines once again. This time, I went east of the iron vein right below my base, and I ended up finding a manganese vein, which won't be useful for quite some time. I came back up, and after quite a while of waiting, I had gathered enough string to make the gloves. Okay. Left hand, right hand. Now I could go get some lava. However, it turns out the gloves only work if the bucket of lava is in your hand. Unfortunately, I didn't realize this, and I guess I got a little too greedy. I shouldn't... Okay, well, I'm still taking damage. Why isn't it working? Oh. It's working. I decided my best course of action would be to play hot potato with the lava buckets and awkwardly shuffle between them in my hotbar. This did not work. Oh! Oh! We gotta speedrun this. Where we gotta go? What? Why? Oh! Oh my god. One. No, 1, 2. Okay. Next time I'm gonna do one at a time. My next milestone would be to find a tin vein. This was because I wanted to make bronze, which would bring me into the steam age. I only ended up finding another copper vein. Disappointed, I went back up to the surface and finished the second layer of my smeltery. I had a casting basin, but no casting table. This is because I needed to make a single seared stone, which takes 40 cobblestone in the smeltery. Ooh. Oh yeah. Once I had the casting table, I made some aluminum brass by smelting aluminum and copper together in the smeltery. The only way for me to get aluminum right now is through aluminum gravel, which spawns in clumps. This allowed me to make permanent casts and forge myself some iron tool rods to increase my tool's durability. This mod is great. With this, I spent the next hour digging for a tin vein to no avail. I found an iron vein, soapstone vein, copper vein, another iron vein, and surprisingly a mica vein, which is the rarest ore found in the overworld. This will be useful in future episodes. I then struck gold, which will also only be useful later. Finally, I found a rock salts and apatite vein, which was super disappointing. Oh no. What? Where am I? Oh god. Oh no. Oh my god. I did find a diamond vein, which I bet you can guess will only be useful later on. Not all was lost, however, as I soon found a coal vein, which I was looking for as well. Finally, something useful. Now I had an easier way to fuel my furnaces and make torches. Let's go. Alright. Hopping off for a little while. We're back in GregTech. I got back on, mined a bit more, and went home. All this time, I'd been periodically harvesting my crops from my ever-expanding super mega farm. I haven't talked about it yet, but the more unique foods you eat, the more max health you gain. At the moment, I had 2 extra hearts, but you'll see that number go up a bit throughout the episode. I then went back to my favorite activity of all, mining underground tunnels to new ore veins. This definitely isn't the most efficient way of finding ore veins, and I'm not sure why I decided to do it, but I don't care what anyone has to say. I love my tunnels. Anyways, I found another coal and apatite vein, a mineral sand vein, a lapis vein, another iron and soapstone vein, another lapis vein, whatever a kaolinite vein is, and at long last, a garnetin vein. Let's go! You see, one of the ores found in this vein is cassiterite sand ore, each of which can be smelted into 2 tin ingots. I was over the moon. I mined a bunch, and then dug up to the surface to walk home. While doing so, I encountered some zany characters. What is that over there? Hello? Beatrix Boneman. Okay. Heronel Coffinberry. Do not waste my time. Alright, well, thanks for talking to me, I guess. With the tin smelted up, I was finally able to continue going down the quest line. I had to crush copper and tin into dust with a mortar, and then combine them into bronze. I then just smelted it up, completed the quest. Woo! At this point, I was able to make my first steam machine, a boiler. Bricks, plates, and wrench. Small coil boy. Whoa. This puppy will turn water into steam by burning coal and such. Oh heck yeah, guys, look at this. Coal boiler. In in the place. Yeah. Oh. I got a trophy. Trophy, you can go right here. Oh yeah. I quickly upgraded my tools to bronze for more mining speed and durability, but it had the downside of making them only be able to be repaired with bronze, but it isn't too big of a problem. I have plans to make a nice looking factory for my machines and whatnot, but for now, I just cleared out an area in the back section of my base. Before I can make steam, I need what I like to call water. However, water pumps are a long way out, and GregTech disables infinite water sources. The solution is a wooden cube that traps water from the atmosphere. This relies on the humidity of the biome you're in. In my case, the humidity is 50%, which is a-okay for my current water needs. This box requires a ton of wood and iron, and a substance known as sticky resin. This comes from rubber trees, which I need to set up a farm for if I want to make enough sap. For that, I made a horribly ineffective line of rubber saplings that I had gathered from local rubber trees. I could use a tree tap to extract the sap. Here, right-click it. Look at that. After about an hour, I had enough to make the Water Trapper 3000. Two iron rods. We have a water tank. See, now this is getting me free water. That'll then go into here. So now I can throw a bunch of coal in there. Oh, okay, now we should be making steam. Let's make an alloy smelter. I had done it. I had reached the steam age. Just so you guys are aware, this was no cheap task. The bronze plates I had used took 2 ingots each, making the total bronze cost for the boiler, pipes, and alloy smelter I placed here 44 bronze ingots, plus the other materials I used like bricks. The water tank also cost 52 iron ingots in total, but I have a pretty good amount of iron, so it was no big deal. With the alloy smelter, I could move on to the next task, making red alloy. This takes copper and redstone and is used in pistons, an ingredient in most steam age machinery. Alright, let's go get some— oh no! What is that? Death creeper. Ah! My coke oven. We've suffered a casualty. Coke oven is dead, and frankly, I don't want to make any more of those bricks. So we're down to 2. Another casualty we lost. We lost a pipe. We have an extra, so it should be okay. I guess now let's go look for some redstone. In the mines, I did not find any redstone, just some more non-useful ores. However, I did come across something strange. I don't think this is a redstone vein, but I'm gonna keep looking for him. I'm gonna keep— sorry, thought I heard something. That's a soapstone vein. Definitely hearing something. Is it this spider? I'm gonna find out what's making that noise. Help me! It's saying help me? It's coming from over here. Oh! Oh my god! Ah! What is this? What is happening? Ah! Holy cow! Oh, I'm gonna die! I can't die. That zombie had 100 health. I have 0 regeneration. Their stages keep coming! I'm gonna dig around. I'm coming. I'm digging around. Wait.
Hello?
Jeremy?
Save!
What are you doing here?
Dude, I was just trying to get some redstone, and then I came over to this cave, and there was a bunch of monsters, and—
You'll never believe what I'm doing down here. I'm looking for some redstone.
No way.
I'm really low. I've gotta go. I'm gonna go back to the house. I'll get you some good stuff. Don't worry. Don't even worry. Follow me.
Luckily I found you, dude. I was stuck over
Nah,
there.
dude, I'm glad I saved you, bro. I wouldn't want to lose you too, like I lost.
What?
No, you don't worry about it. Somehow, I'd come across my friend Jeremy in the mines, and I brought him back to the base. I hooked him up with a bed and some fresh, fancy bronze tools. We decided we would search for redstone together. However, after like an hour of mining, even with 2 people, we still could not find any redstone. Jeremy, you got anything good over there? Jeremy? Alright, I guess he left. Since Jeremy was no longer with us, I decided to go to a diamond vein and mine up some jewels. With these, I could add 500 durability to my tools, which would more than double what they had currently. It also made them look pretty cool. With redstone, I'd be able to increase their mining speed, but obviously I had none right now. Oh god. Yeah. That's so stupid. Good day 50 to celebrate I got killed in an oil pit. With no luck still, I resorted to the option I admittedly should have resorted to hours ago. I decided to make the ore finder wand. But Zave, didn't you say that needs redstone like 15 minutes ago? Yes, but redstone also rarely spawns in small ores that you can find basically anywhere. I'd gathered a good bit while digging my tunnels, and I have no clue why I waited this long to make the wand. I also had to grab some gold, so I mined some from the vein I found earlier. I went home and made it with the redstone I had in my chest. Now I could use it to find a vein. When I walk over one, it'll beep and turn upside down. Now, we walk. Ouch. Oh, wait. Here we are. Let's go. Okay, I get it. You stop now. Okay. I had finally found a redstone vein. I grabbed as much as I could before my pickaxe broke and I headed home. Before I could get redstone dust, I needed to crush it with GregTech hammers, so I placed all the ore down and gave it a whack. This left me with almost 5 stacks of crushed redstone, which can be processed down into redstone dust. I immediately put it to good use, using an entire stack to give my pickaxe some extra mining speed. Very nice. Yeah, till then I have to go do something, so be right back. Apparently I have deceased. Okay. Yo! What happened? Now I could continue down the quest line, first by making red alloy with copper and redstone in the alloy smelter. Oh, and it's going pretty fast, too. This was my first ever industrial process. Hooray! This thing's loud, bro. With the red alloy, I could make a piston. Piston? With pistons in hand, I made a compressor, which is used to compress stuff, and then made a macerator, which takes the place of a mortar in exchange for taking a long time to process stuff. I quickly put my compressor to work by making a wooden plank out of wood pulp, which I then used to make a clipboard. Clipboard, okay. Sure, it serves the same purpose as the notes app on my computer, but it's cool to have. Now, I decided it was time to make the blast furnace. On my clipboard, I'd keep track of what items I needed and what items I had. According to my calc, the raw materials I would need were approximately 1,008 clay balls, 72 gypsum dust, 72 calcite dust, 36 stone dust, and 36 quartz sand. Calc is short for calculator, by the way. This means digging. A lot of it. I decided to start with the gypsum, whose ore spawns sporadically in the granitic mineral sand veins. However, there was so little of it in the ore vein that I could only find a little over half of what I needed. This was fine though, because the macerator I just made can turn 1 ore into 2 crushed ores, which in this case, each make a gypsum dust. So I went home and threw it in the macerator. It would be an entire 20 minutes before it made all that I needed, so I just lollygagged around the base for a while before deciding to get as much clay as I needed. This should do it. In order to make the process of making the blast furnace as easy as possible, I wanted to craft a block called a work table, which saves recipes and crafts them automatically with items in its own storage space. However, these need books to craft, and books, for whatever reason, need entire buckets of glue. The easiest way for me to make glue right now is to shove a horse in my smeltery to milk the glue out of it. I'm not joking. However, I don't want to go through the hassle of doing that, so I went out in search of a village to take the books from a library. Miraculously, I actually ended up finding one, in all of its walled glory. I went in and immediately began looting, starting with the smeltery. It lacked a controller or a tank, but the bricks themselves were really annoying to craft, so I took them all. I then looted some random goodies out of the blacksmith chests, including 9 whole steel ingots. However, I deemed myself unworthy of claiming the quest rewards as I hadn't truly made steel ingots yet. Finally, I found the library and took all the books. I then quickly went back home. After using the bricks I gathered to expand my smeltery, I made the work table. There we go, work table. I then went to go mine for calcite, which spawns in lapis veins. Like with the gypsum, I couldn't get quite enough, so I threw 36 ores in the macerator. So loud. While waiting for it to crush, I made all the bricks I'd be needing and threw them in a bunch of furnaces. We were getting close. The calcite was done, and I processed it into calcite dust. I then made some glass with quartz sand and flint dust, and using silver from small silver ores that I had been mining this whole time, made a solar boiler which takes no input and outputs a considerable amount of steam during the daytime. Boom. Solar boiler. I then built a forge hammer, which took a ridiculous amount of iron since it needs an anvil. This will crush stuff much faster than a macerator, but it doesn't double ores. I was going to use it to crush the stacks of bricks I had into brick dust. However, because I wasn't producing enough steam, it went insanely slowly, so I did basically all of it manually with some mortars. Meaning, in the end, the forge hammer was pointless. Now I could make fire clay dust by mixing clay dust and brick dust together. I thought I was ready to cook it up into the bricks now, but it turns out you need to run the dust through a compressor to make compressed fire clay. Right. With 8 seconds per brick, this would take forever. While I waited, I used the work table for the first time to make the first bit of concrete I'd be using. Alright. With time on my hands, I renovated the base using fir logs and cobblestone bricks. It's pretty rudimentary, but it's better than just dirt. Like I said earlier, I plan to build an at least halfway decent looking factory at some point, so don't think this is the best it's gonna get. Anyways, I made some nice paths out of wood, and the base was finally looking like a base. Yeah, it's looking nice. When the fire clay was done at last, I brought all the ingredients over to the work table and made the bricks. Oh, okay. I then made the actual blast furnace block and built the multi-block. Let's go! Each requiring 1 iron ingot and 2 coke and taking a whopping 4 minutes to smelt, I began making my first batch of steel ingots. 4 minutes for 1 steel ingot. Yes! Steel ingot. It looks different when it's on the floor for some reason. Steel ingot! After getting the steel ingot quest legitly,
That was legitness.
I claimed the quest. Along with some breaded pork chop. And an extra heart. Awesome. We got a pig spawn egg. Alright, so you're my pet now. Give me in the comments what I should name this dude. You guys won't disappoint, so. And that's where I'll call it quits for this one. Like I said in the description, if you're wondering if this series is replacing Pyanodons, it isn't. I just wanted to mix it up a bit and see how y'all like something else I'm interested in playing. If you do want to see a series out of this though, please let me know. Thanks for sticking by me through the whole thing, and if you made it this far in the video, comment GregTech? More like Tech Deck. Okay, bye.